All right, I'll let Jeff get going here. I don't get it. All right, you all join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right.
Like these
All right.
sheriffs.
We'll call the September 15th Board of Selectmen meeting to order. We're going to, Matt, we're going to table the minutes. Most of the board didn't get a chance to look at them. They come in a little late. I think there's some questions on them, so it's all the same to everybody. We'll table those. And we'll move on to financial reports. Start with payroll warrant 11.
I'll make a motion. We approve payroll warrant number 11.
Okay, Lou makes a motion. Here a second.
I'll second.
Josh seconds. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor? All right, warrant passes. We'll move on to accounts payable warrants. Start with AP 12. That's I think it's a Hager warrant, right?
I make a motion. We approve.
Second.
Lou, Tom seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
I abstain.
Mark abstains. All
I oppose.
opposed, one opposed. Motion carries there. We'll do accounts payable 13.
I'll move accounts payable 13.
I will second.
The only question I had was on Octagon cleaning. Is there any way we, capacity, is there any way we do an insurance claim or on that project? Because it was under miscellaneous.
How much was that?
1,600 and something. Somewhere I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
1,682.43.
Oh, yes, that's the cleaning at capacity.
Mhm.
So if you've got other thoughts on this, let me know, but the sanitary district, it's kind of the issue we had right from the start. The sanitary district did not know that there was a second line going into capacity. It wasn't identified by the engineer. Since Chase did not know about it, they didn't hook up the collector line to that service line. What happened is when the backup occurred, Leanna started to vacuum up the sewage, but capacity, the owner of capacity, had already called the cleaning company. So they had to come in at the tail end and clean it up. The Susan Murphy was really good about getting on the case of the company. The bill had come in, I think it's in there at 2,200 or whatever. She was able to get it down to 1,600 plus. So it's one of those things. It was our project. There's really no one, capacity definitely isn't to blame. I don't know who else
Right.
to blame. I just want to put it as a project expense.
Okay, so that's how you put it.
That's how we
Okay.
ended up with it. So I don't know. It's one of those areas, right from the beginning, people did not know that should have known where their sewer lines were, but they
Mhm.
didn't know.
No, I'm saying we probably should pay it. I just want to know where it was coming from.
But that's the deal. That's
Okay.
the deal. It's now fixed. We had Ideal come in and fix the problem almost immediately, but yeah, that's it.
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you.
know. I'm probably more of an explanation than you wanted, but.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah.
And
that's
now
where we
we're
are.
all done.
It's
with sewer
done.
business.
It's done. I've yet to sign off on the certificate of substantial completion or final completion. They have to do a TV of all the lines, and they have the firm that does that sort of thing that we've used before come in to TV the lines. Once that's done and that checks out, I'll sign off. They'll get the final payment,
And then
and we'll be out of the sewer business.
except for one pump station.
We'll just have the one pump station.
Yeah, right. Just that one.
Okay.
So, phew. Good. Any other discussion?
That's it. I'm all good.
All those in favor? All right, motion carries. We're good there. And we'll go on to accounts payable number 14.
I'll move accounts payable warrant 14.
Second.
2 seconds. Any discussion?
Everything's completed to satisfactory condition.
It's satisfactory. He has some minor changes to make on the steps, but the cemetery committee felt, he's close enough. There's no need to have him wait 3 more weeks for payment.
So
Okay.
what recourse do we have if he doesn't come back and fix
We
it?
use him for a lot of other contracts and we could hold off on that, but it's so close. We're talking about the top step being slightly off kilter, and he said he'll come back and do it. I don't. The rest of the wall, 99 point whatever % is complete. So I don't think it's fair to hold off on the rest of the work.
And they've been doing good work.
Hmm?
They've been doing good work for us.
Yeah, if you'd like, I can hold the check until we have it, but
Well, if you can get
I
that,
did want you to approve the
Yeah.
check at least.
okay, I'm good.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Would you like me to hold the check?
I don't think there's any need.
If we trust them, we're at that point where,
Yeah.
they do, like I say, they do a lot of work with us. I think
Yeah.
and probably trust them to get it done. So, Matt, do we have any presentations tonight?
No presentation.
No presentations.
I don't have any correspondence
No correspondence?
to share.
All right. Well, what do you got for town manager items?
Yeah, I have a couple that I added, but here's the first 4, the town meeting on the amendments to the town charter. My impression is it's not as urgent as we initially thought it might be. My recommendation, since we'd really be cutting it close, and I don't know that I've gotten all the feedback from you. Josh, I think you might have had some other suggestions on changes. And I don't have the results for the poll that I'm doing with the select board versus Board of Selectmen. So what I'm recommending is that we wait till June to have the referendum. Becky reminded me that will be the state primary. So we should be able to achieve the 30% turnout rate from the last gubernatorial election. So if
Right,
it's
yeah.
okay with you, we'll wait. Well, we could have a couple special meetings to move forward on it, but I don't see the value in rushing it. So,
I don't think there's anything super
Okay.
pressing in it that needs to be expedited. Does anybody?
I just got a question. In the town charter, does it address anything once we set, like when Matt sends out, or the town manager sends out what we're going to be going over? We seem to be always adding on to town manager items.
yes, yeah.
And, it's like for everybody that's got the full packet. And all of a sudden, last minute, we're adding things on. I don't think it's fair.
If you don't want to, we won't. My understanding is you never even got an agenda beforehand. So not only do you get an agenda, but you get a town manager notes document that explains me not to add anything to the agenda after the Thursday, Friday, or the weekend that I send it out. It can typically wait until 2 weeks, but I would just soon get it off. So it's up to you.
I mean, how
But there's
many,
no requirement that your town manager send out an agenda ahead of time.
I thought I saw somewhere in the town charter that it says once the agenda is set, then that's what's on there, that you can't add on.
No.
But I mean,
There's, unless I've missed it for the last 10 years, I don't remember a provision like that. You do have in your rules and procedures that there's an agenda that the town manager will send out ahead of time, but I'm not aware of any deadline on that.
and how many
yeah.
do we send out? Like it's on that email? On your list?
I send out the full packet. I'm just guessing here, but I can count them up, but there's about 75, 80 that get the full packet and probably another 30 that just get the agenda. So 100 total. And then anybody that wants to be on the agenda list I add them.
Yeah.
And then it's on the newsletter. As soon as Becky gets the agenda, she puts it, not on the newsletter, on the website.
You know,
But if there's any changes, if like you'll see a couple items that I just heard about today. So that's why I don't have them on the list. Now, I could see you having concerns maybe about official action items, but town manager items, I don't even know that there's a requirement, or you should have a requirement that those be listed ahead of time. Those are just FYI items.
yeah, I think the official action items should be pretty much listed, and then you can always, if
Yeah.
there's some confusion, then you just say,
Yeah.
make a motion to add as an official action item at the beginning of the meeting.
And then
Have
if
to be a
you,
little flexibility in case
If you
things,
feel-
we get
yeah.
things last minute or
I'd say
something.
keep it as
Yeah,
is.
Try to get everything out, but
yeah, and if you feel rushed, you don't have to act on it. Yeah.
Well, I guess that brings up like the minutes, we get them at the last minute. Then we have other issues that get added on when some of these other people that get the emails are being left out of that process. And that's the only. concern.
If somebody's left out of an email, I'm sorry, what? I didn't hear.
But when we add on these things at the last minute, there's people out there that get the full packet that doesn't even get some of
If
that.
I add,
Yeah.
if I add any agenda items, official action items, I send it out to the entire list.
yeah, on the agenda.
Yeah, on the-
it's added on the agenda.
If there's
yeah.
any official action items, they go out to the entire list.
You may add on town manager notes separate. I think what Mark's saying is there may be
Right.
some town manager notes that come in afterwards. but-
Yeah.
But we have to have some
I didn't know.
flexibility there where
Right.
you add some stuff on, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to do whatever the board would like, but
I'd say
I'll tell
keep
you, I
it
think
as
I go
is.
The extra mile when it comes to
See, I
keeping
see
you
Mark's
informed.
point, is just making sure
Yeah.
everybody's getting all the information out there, but I think we get out what we can, and there's gonna be some times where, yeah, as long as your agenda's set up,
Yeah.
and, because you revise, yeah, we get revised agendas too, if there's a change in the agenda,
That's right.
you revise the
That's
agenda,
right.
so that's probably what you're thinking about in the charter, the agenda does get revised, but it doesn't always reflect manager notes, it doesn't have to,
Right.
so, yeah.
Okay,
think we're
I just
covered.
want to throw it out. so
Yeah,
that,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
I'm
how
all
I
about
could,
getting the word out as much as we can.
I don't know how I could make it more transparent than I do, it's just, there's just not. Like I say, you're gonna hear something tonight that just came to my attention this morning, so, yeah.
Well, if there's something important that you hear, we don't want to wait 2 weeks to
Right,
find
yeah,
out about it.
yeah.
I agree.
So,
Alrighty.
you received the note on the annual county budget caucus.
Budget caucus, yeah.
Lou, you're a member of the budget committee, so you probably want to go to that for sure,
Yes.
but I think.
But I don't have the letter attached.
Oh, it's not in this packet, but it was in the one I sent
It's
out.
on the email.
This is the original here. Yeah, it's in the packet I sent out last Thursday. The public meeting on the waterfront improvements, 6 PM at Lincoln Theater. It's going to be aired by LCTV on YouTube. It'll be recorded. If anyone's not comfortable attending, but encourage people to attend that. It's basically a community conversation.
Mhm.
Yeah. I sent you all fairly sizable report from Acadia Engineering on the Church Street culvert. I think that the major takeaways from that are that the culvert is sound for the time being. It's not, it's not about to give way. And that the storm that we had was a perfect storm. At the same time that we had that record rainfall, which is somewhere in the 500-year rainfall range, we had some sort of impediment upstream of the culvert give way, and that caused the flooding over the top. So the recommendation is not to build anything that has more of a capacity than what we've already got there. If we do replace it, though, that culvert that's there sits too high. And we would, by current regulations, in accordance with current regulations, have to build something that allows a better egress and transport of wildlife, which means that it has to have a base in it of gravel and such. But if we don't replace it, we can leave it as is for the time being. Those were, well, aside from the sticker shocking price, those were the major takeaways from that report. His report said, I asked him for some cost estimates, and he was saying upwards of 700 to 800,000 to replace the culvert with a box culvert that had enough width to provide for the 5-foot sidewalk. He told me later that he gave us a very high estimate, what they call a conservative estimate. And I think Andrew might have shared with you when he was here that was a very high estimate. Andrew Hedrick was thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of half that amount for the culvert, which is still, it's very high. It's still high. So I've asked Andrew to think to try to come up with some alternatives. One alternative that I think would be good is to build a pedestrian bridge adjacent to the culvert for the bikes and for walkers. But we have enough flexibility in the donation that we had for the design work to have Andrew and Gartley and Dorsey do additional work on that project for the design of that. So I've asked him to give us a proposal for adding that on to the work he's already doing for us.
On the bridge.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
sidewalk, on the whole sidewalk from, Pleasant to Main Street, Biskie intersection. So he'll be putting together a proposal on that.
I got a question, Matt, not to interrupt
Yeah.
you. Now, you're saying a walkway, have a bridge that would be separate than, so that the sidewalk would come to that compared to, is this number that he gave you before would take care of the sidewalk?
No, that it includes a sidewalk, but it's for the culvert with a sidewalk.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see the two split out, because.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, in my previous job, we had a number of bridges, pedestrian bridges on the city's open space that were, pre-built, and they just,
Yeah.
pop them in. I don't know if that's something they can do here or not. But those, to me, that would be ideal. Of course, we have to get the DEP to approve it because you're moving into shoreland zoning.
Right, yeah.
And then we'd have to acquire that property if we don't own the right of way already. But I think we ought to explore that as an option. And then I also think that Gartley and Dorsey needs to look at maybe widening the existing culvert to allow for a pedestrian, a sidewalk that's attached to the existing structure. Some
It
alternative.
almost seems like a box culvert out of concrete, because if you're concerned about the height of everything, you could actually set that down and make it wider and still build everything right over the top of it.
Well, if you see the report,
That's what it was.
if you read the report, that's what's in the report. There's a box culvert that's wider, that's ground level, so you allow for both additional water flow and for wildlife transit.
Well, it's good to look at all options just to see where
Yeah.
they, where they might come in. Okay. All right.
And here,
What else do you have, Matt, on? Yeah.
Oh, and I'm going to give you the additional items. I heard this morning that the ambulance service is having a board meeting on Monday. Cheryl was going to find out the time for me.
I think it's 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
I think that's when it is.
Okay, so I'm not trying to put Mary on the spot, but I've not been able to reach her to ask her whether she wants to continue as the town's liaison to the ambulance service. And this goes back a couple months. So at a minimum, I would like the board to appoint an alternate. I'm willing to do that. And maybe Tom might be willing to, I don't know if you have an interest in that as well. We haven't divvied it,
Oh,
you
yeah,
haven't-
well,
Yeah.
I used to, it
That might
was a
be
long
something.
time ago, I was an ambulance driver, but yeah, I'll,
Qualified.
I was planning on, I was gonna try to go on Monday to the meeting. So
Oh, you're going to go?
I'm gonna try to go on.
Oh, okay. But last time when we were discussing the budget, I was the only one that showed up from Damariscotta, and they said, well, why don't you vote? So I voted for their budget. But I think it's sort of informal, but I think it would be good for the selectmen, the Board of Selectmen, to appoint a liaison. So I'm more happy to do it if you want, and then if you want, Josh or Tom to be alternates, that's fine too. But
I'm willing to do it. And if you want to do it, Josh, that's fine too.
Yeah, I was planning on trying to go to it and do it, so.
well,
Maybe I'll go with you, or if.
If we get too many of us, it'll be a selectmen's meeting, so.
Yeah, two.
Two.
two's okay.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
Two's
so if we
So
get too
I
many
don't know.
of us-
I guess my thought is
Why-
Tom would be the representative, Josh be the alternate, and I'll be an alternate if need be. But I'll be
do that.
going anyway.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
Is that, do you want to?
That's
You
fine.
want to make it official right now?
Yeah.
You want to move on to official action items?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But you haven't been able to contact Mary?
I have not been able to contact Mary. Now, Mary moved away from Damariscotta.
Yeah.
And that was my original contact with her, was saying you're no longer a Damariscotta citizen, so you can't be our representative on the
Mhm.
committee. But I'm just hearing that she might be moving back. So I'm not sure what her intent
So
is.
maybe we ought to not do that until we find out for sure, maybe.
Well, let's at least do the alternate.
Alternate, yeah.
So maybe you may make Tom the alternate.
Yeah, we can do that to get more info back from
Yeah.
her. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make a motion to make Tom the alternate for liaison to the CLC ambulance service for the town of Damariscotta.
All right.
Second,
Move seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
but
Tom's, you got to,
Abstain.
oh, you abstain, okay.
Yeah.
And, the meeting is 6 PM.
I think it's
Yes,
six.
if it's other than that, I'll let you know.
I'll let you know. I'll find
Okay,
out.
it'll be at the ambulance service.
Yes. yeah.
Building
wanna wait?
on
Do you
Piper
wanna-
Mill.
Be an alternate as well, or do we want to wait?
Yeah,
I'd
right off
wait.
School Street.
We'll wait, yeah. So we'll get Tom at least one official and
Yeah.
then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So we'll wait on Josh and
Like I said, and they're pretty informal about who's representing.
Yeah.
Depends on who
Okay.
shows.
You
but I
know,
think
and
it's
as long
as simple
as
that.
we have somebody that's got voting power.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And we can, yeah. Thank you, Tom. You have
Sure.
some to add to your hat.
I think it was 1967. For 3 years, I was an ambulance driver.
So you're
So
due.
a little,
You're ready.
little rusty.
It's fine. It hasn't changed. All right. Anything else, Matt? on-
Yeah, the only other thing I had, I just was going to revisit the issue of COVID masks. We have a sign out front that says, "Do you remember it? Did you remember your masks?" So most people come in with their mask on, but I think we're at a point now where we want to make masks mandatory for visitors to town hall. And we won't go back to the appointment only, at least not yet. But previously you gave me the authority to make that decision. And I guess I'm running it by you to see if you have any objections to that. And basically what it would mean is we put a sign on
Mask
the door
required.
saying, wear your mask.
I
I'm
think we,
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm still at the point where I like to people make their choice, but if it makes everybody more comfortable in the town office, and go right ahead.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I had.
If we can stay away from the appointment thing, that would be great.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we need to go
We
back to
can't.
that. Yeah.
I think, wasn't there something in the Lincoln County news that COVID was up in this area?
Oh,
and
yeah. Yeah, Evan's been
Yeah, it
doing
was
the
on.
reporting on that.
Yeah.
It is up. Yeah.
In most cases, we had in a week this week,
How many?
96.
96?
And six.
96 in Lincoln County?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Holy
Great
mackerel.
Salt Bay School is going fully remote till September 27th.
Oh,
That's
you did. I
an
didn't know that.
extraordinary increase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that makes sense. Yeah.
One of the things is,
All right. Okay. We'll move on to official action items. Are we, Matt, where are you at with the code enforcement?
I'm going to ask you to
Table it.
continue to table that.
Okay.
I haven't heard back from
All right, so
Waldeboro
we'll
yet.
table any action on the code enforcement officer agreement. We'll move on to the,
I'm going to attend, yeah, the next one is I'm going to attend the MMA meeting, if you would like me to be the voting representative for the town.
Yes.
yeah, we'll make a motion to make Matt our designated attendee as the town's delegate.
I'll second it.
Mark seconds it. Any discussion?
No.
All right, all those in favor? All right, Matt, you're good.
Thank you.
And did we get a chance to read the assessing service proposal?
Mhm.
It's short.
Short?
It,
Yeah.
it leaves lots of room for negotiation.
Agreed.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see who's out there and who's willing to provide services
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the request for proposals for assessing services.
Second.
Tom seconds. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor? All right, that carries as well. Yes, nice and short and to the point. There's little bit of wiggle room in there, Matt, so. All right, Selectmen's discussion, I will start down on the end with
I
Tom
have,
here.
I have nothing.
Lou?
I have nothing except, are we having any actions on the, request for assistance?
I think it'd be timely to put another reminder in my newsletter
Yeah,
for that. And I could ask Evan
Yeah.
to do that. But I don't think there's been any
any more?
activity in terms of
Yeah.
people taking advantage of those gift
Yeah.
cards.
I just get concerned
Yeah.
about that with all.
Yeah.
And it could,
Good point.
and it could get worse now.
Yeah.
That the $300 a week is gone.
The only thing is I got is, we had a situation up to the school in the kitchen, with some, maybe carbon monoxide. The fire department, I just want to thank them for their professional, due diligence on helping us with that situation. So,
Hmm.
Nice, yeah. Thank you. They do a great job.
yeah, they do.
We're
Thank
very
you.
lucky with all our services. Josh?
I think I'm good. I
All
just
right.
want to congratulate Chief Warlick on his
Yeah.
soon to be awarded award, I guess.
Yeah,
He is aware of that. He is aware he's getting it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And hopefully they told him with a change of date.
He's
probably
on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything to add
Okay.
tonight, so.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All right, any discussion? All those in favor? All right,
man,
adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I now have
Yeah,
conflict here.
I'll go later.
The meeting tomorrow night for the budget
Something, but
is
it's
at
at
6.
5:40 or
I was gonna
5:30.
say, I'll hook up.
Yeah, yeah.